How y'all doing? This one is going to be about comedian entertainer Steve Harvey. And he went back to the motherland, went to Ghana, West Africa. And he went to the slave quarters and he started crying. Some people think he could be faking the funk. Some people, like myself, believe it's real tears. He was quoted and he was offensive some months ago, and he said that slavery happened a long time ago. It didn't really have any pertaining to him being over here in America. I like to think he got his black wake up call. I really do. I think being in those quarters did something to his psychic. I think seeing firsthand the pain, the tears, the blood for over 400 plus years from the travels from there to here got to him. Pardon me. And rightfully so. I don't know how, if any type of African blood flows through your veins, that you don't feel the pain and the reality of the past. I just don't. Because Africa from to America is like a message in a bottle that flows. And I don't understand and don't see how you can't feel it. Steve's been able to have quite a successful and lucrative career between TV shows and films and obviously Family Feud and commercials, etc. But at the end of the day, you got to come back home. You are an African descent person. You got to come home. I don't care where you are. It's just going to happen because the realities of being in a place that doesn't embrace you fully, the fighting with Jim Crowism, the negative connotation, it's going to hit you. It's going to hit you. I just hope that if he comes back to America and that his mindset is really enlightened from his trip, that the powers that be don't come out and try to do a surviving Steve Harvey on him or come at him, because believe me, he ain't coming back the same. You know, when Richard Pryor went to Africa, and I remember his stand up on the Sunset Strip, he went there and he saw it, and he had the wake up call, and he said, "I will never use the N word again." It changed him spiritually from a situation, and the power of it is that that's home, that's our roots, that's the blood, that's the flow. And some turkeys are gonna say, "Well, would you go back?" I said, "It's not that easy, because the ideology and the psychology and the dimensions of what you've been brought over to America and to Europe have infiltrated a lot in your mind psyche. So it's not that easy just to turn that switch on and off, you know. But this is very powerful, very productive. It's a powerful thing to see Steve Harvey and his wife and other African Americans who took the trip, and it's a very enlightening to see. It's very much needed. Um, Not only to go, but to feel the origins of it, to feel the pain, the change, the reaction. That's very powerful. And I'm hoping that the brother comes back enlightened. I want to think that, yeah, he got woke up, he feeling it. I want to think that because he didn't spew a lot of disdain on a lot of subject matters with some former staff and people, and he got kind of full of himself and a bougie. When you go back home, it puts things in perspective. Because if you're black in America, they look at you for what you are as a cash cow. They don't look at you as it's on. Look it up. 13th Amendment, 3/4 humans. So, but you go home and you get that warm feeling and sensation. You're like, I'm back home. I'm gonna feel something about myself. So I'm hoping and I applaud that his journey will lead a real revolution and a revelation that he will not only be enlightened himself, but he will share it and strike that chord with others, because it's always important. It's always important. And you got to go back home and you have to have that momentum and that kick because it's very powerful. Anyway, that's my take about Steve Harvey crying in Ghana at the slave quarters, going back home. and feeling the spirit, and I want to believe the brother. But give me your thoughts and your takes. What's your thoughts and your takes about him going to Ghana? Feel free to hit the like, hit the subscribe, and the bell rings. That's in the video. You have a blessed day. Peace. And much respect to Ghana and the motherland. Period. Peace.